Hey guys, welcome back to our channel. Today, the topic, rather theme 7 or chapter 3, that is Vijayanagara Empire. The NCERTs mentioned this as an imperial capital, Vijayanagara. The basic timeline of this empire is from 14th century CE to 16th century CE. This empire reached its peak for a very short duration of time and declined after mid of 15th century CE. The Vijayanagara Empire basic details are like this. It was founded by Harihar and Bukka of Sangama dynasty in year 1365. This year 1365 is varied according to varied historians, but NCERTs give this as fact, so we have to accept it. Harihar and Bukka belong to Sangama dynasty. The other details about Vijayanagar are like this, that it was based on Raichur Doab. Now guys, what is Raichur Doab? Actually, this is the map of India, southern side. This is river Krishna, which originates from Mahabaleshwar in western Ghats from Maharashtra, flows towards Maharashtra, Karnataka, Andhra Pradesh, Telangana, and river Tungabhadra originates from here, and river Tungabhadra meets river Krishna. Here somewhere is Vijayanagara, and this is all Raichur Doab. Raichur Doab, Vijayanagar Empire, Vijayanagar city, as also called as Vidyanagar, also called as Hampi. Guys, remember Hampi is a modern name. The time period of Vijayanagar extended from 1365 to 1565. Here the Vijayanagar Empire ended and city was sacked and looted. The war in which the city was destroyed was called as Battle of Talikota or Rakshas Tangadi. Now, these are some basic details or overview of this chapter. Now we will see the line-to-line details according to NCERT. The page number 170 says about the discovery of Hampi. Discovery of Hampi. The Hampi or the Vijayanagar Empire was first discovered by Colin Mackenzie. He was the first surveyor general. Guys, remember the fact that this time the ASI details were asked in UPSC prelims 2023. So this can be anytime a potential question which can be asked because the fact is given in NCERT. So we have to memorize it. Colonel Colin Mackenzie was the first surveyor general of India. He was appointed to establish Hampi, and his love for archaeology had made this discovery visible. Basically, the details he got from the existence of empire from the priests. Before that, no one was knowing about the Vijayanagara Empire, but the priests, which have the tradition of transferring data from generations to generations, he had told Colonel Mackenzie that the priest of Virupaksha temple, which is also, we will see in later pages, that is the sacred temple of Vijayanagara Empire. And its goddess is Pampa Devi. The priest of Pampa Devi shrine at Virupaksha temple gave information to Colin Mackenzie about the existence of a huge empire during 14th to 15th century CE. 14th to 16th century CE. This was the Vijayanagara Empire, and this has led to the discovery of Vijayanagara Empire by Colin Mackenzie. Now the page number 171 talks about the details of rulers of Vijayanagara Empire and other kings, that is Rajas, Rayas, Sultans and Nayakas. Vijayanagara Empire consistently was in conflict. See guys, this is Vijayanagara Empire somewhere here. Here are the Gajapati rulers of Odisha. Gajapati rulers. Sultans of Deccan. For expansion to Vijayanagara Empire, the subsistence of the subjudication of Gajapati and Deccan Sultans was very necessary. So they were in constant conflict with each other for basics of KG basin, that is Krishna Godavari basin, and KT basin, that is Krishna Tungabhadra basin, because these were the fertile region, and to sustain the population of whole empire, the agriculture was most important. So they were in state of constant conflict with each other. The another name of Vijayanagara Empire, as mentioned on page number 171, is Karnataka Samrajya. Because it was in present day Karnataka. Major area is in, but the empire extended from far away in South India. Page number 172 now talks about the details of various terms that Vijayanagara Empire rulers gave to their boundary kings or rivals. They called themselves as Narpati, that is leaders of men. Gajapati rulers as Elephant Lord, leaders or lord of men. And Deccan Sultans as Ashwapati or lord of horses. These are the basic terminologies given in NCERT on page number 172. So remember them as it is, because these can be asked anytime in match the pairs. The Vijayanagar empires also have trade flourished in horses due to local merchant community named Kudirai Chettis. These were the horse merchants who transported horses from Arab region, as the Arab horses were famous from all time, to Vijayanagar Empire. The Vijayanagar Empire king ruled on basis of divine theory, that is, they are the rulers sent by God. This is the very prominent theory generally used by many rulers to establish or legitimize their rule. Like Britishers also did on the name of Whitesman burden, etc. So, to justify this divine theory, they had constant interaction with temples, and they also patronize the temples initially built by Chola rulers, Hoysala rulers. The temple they patronized built by Chola rulers was Brihadeshwara temple at Tanjore. Guys, remember, these were not built by Vijayanagar Empire, but they were patronized. And Hoysala at Belur. Belur. Temple named Chennakeshwara. They expanded these temples so as to legitimize their rule and become popular among the masses. The apogee and decline of the empire, that is, the start and end of the empire. The major concentration empire to the empire's cream period was during the reign of Krishna Dev Raya, who ruled from 1500s to 1520s. This is considered the epitome of whole empire. Krishna Dev Raya belonged to Toluva dynasty. Guys, see here, these are the 4 dynasties that ruled. These are the 4 major dynasties. First is Sangama. Harihar and Bukka belong to this. Saluva, Tuluva, Krishna Dev Raya belong to this, our major ruler, and Arivadu. Ram Raya belong to this, or the last ruler we probably say. Yes, now the details about Krishna Dev Raya are like very extensive. He consolidated empire, capture Raichur Doab, that is Krishna Tungabhadra Doab. He had a major contribution in architecture also. He built Gopurams. Guys, see here, Gopuram is a pyramidal structure erected on a gate entry of a temple. This is a entry gate of a temple. Entry gate. Here, the pyramidal structure erected over it was done by Krishna Dev Raya. He built many pyramidal structures on the already constructed temples. These are called gopurams. Here the major deity is also placed, or the pyramid above deity. This is basically done to connect the deity to God, that is upwards. So the pillar is extended, and to show the temple is available here from far away distance, that is to increase visibility, and also of course source of as a source of showing divine theory or men of God. The contribution of Krishna Dev Raya in Telugu statesmanship book is also immense. He wrote Amukta Malayada in Telugu. This is a work on statecraft, and the details mentioned in this are how the king should increase ports, harbors, agriculture, and feed his population, and to protect his nation. He also had a great diplomacy. He had maintained the cordial relations with BAG. Guys, this is a mnemonic. Remember, BAG. B stands for Bijapur, Ahmednagar, Golconda. He had maintained cordial relations with all these three, and due to which they all flourished together. Otherwise, there was a kind of mess created when the last ruler and his adventurous policy of Ram Raya did not actively engage with them, BAG, that is Bijapur, Ahmednagar, and Golconda, and this led to the war by annoying all the three rulers rival to Vijayanagar Empire, and led to the battle of Talikota or Rakshas Tangadi. Guys, page number 173 also states that Krishna Dev Raya built an suburban town of Nagalapuram based on his mother's name. The subjugation of BAG by Krishna Dev Raya, and after Krishna Dev Raya, the defeat of Vijayanagar Empire led to the increase of Nayakas. Nayakas were basically chiefs of military heads appointed by Vijayanagar Empire. This system was adapted from Ikta system, which was made by Iltutmish, which was made hereditary by Muhammad bin Tughlaq. Muhammad Firoz Shah Tughlaq. Guys, the Amar Nayaka system is also said to be derived from, basically it is said as innovation of Vijayanagar Empire, but it is derived from Ikta system, of Delhi Sultanate. The land given to Amar Naikas were not hereditary. It was transferable. Every 1 to 4 years, the land was transferred to ascertain the power of king. After the Battle of Talikota in 1565, these Amar Naikas became independent. At the reign of, during the reign of Krishna Dev Raya, they were subdued by him and was kept in control and used to the fullest to expand the empire. But weak rulers like Ram Raya of Arivadu dynasty was unable to control the Nayakas, and as a result they overtook empire after the death. An empire sustained from 100 more years but then completely demolished later. Guys, page number 174 talks about the one word given as Yavanas. You would have been hearing this term from last two chapters. It is a term given to Greeks or people entering to India from northwestern side. It is a term given, basically it is a Sanskrit word. Sanskrit word. Page number 176 talks about the details of the city plan, its map, temples, water system, shrines, etc. The water system is the most elaborative feature at Vijayanagara Empire. The Hirya Canal was made by Sangama dynasty. It was used to fetch water from Tungabhadra river to agricultural fields plus urban core. Guys, see, this is the city map. This was a royal center at south. This was a urban core, that is urban city, and this was the sacred center located at north. And these all were completed in 7 circles of fortification walls, and agricultural fields were also besides the fortification walls. Guys, this strategy was awesome to prevent the enemy's attack from field. This would lead to continuous supply of grain to Vijayanagara Empire, but this would starve the enemy standing outside on the gates of Vijayanagara Empire's wall for many days. This was a strategy. Initially, some kings adopted the strategy to protect only godowns, warehouses, or marketplaces where grains were stored. But the Vijayanagara Empire was so excellent in this strategy, they also protected the agricultural fields that were present in their empire. Okay, moving forward. Water tanks like Hirya, water canals were called Hirya, as we have seen above, Hirya canal, and water tanks were called as Kamalapuram tanks. The fortification, as I have explained you, let add some details to it. The all details about these 7 walls is given by Abdul Razak. We have seen in chapter 1 of this series. He was an ambassador from Persia. He also has described the details that no mortar or cementing agent was used. The bricks were shaped in a wedge. Wedge means, like, guys, these are the interlocking patterns used to construct in ancient times, and these are very relevant, and so strength providing, by the time their strength increases, that these structures are even erected today. These are the wedge. Abdul Razak also has mentioned about the wedge pattern, and there was no mortar or cement used to cement or stick these bricks together. Other other details of visitors also are mentioned, like Niccolo di Conti, ambassador Abdul Razak of Persia, merchant Afansi Nikitin from Russia, Duarte Barbosa, Dominigo Pace from Portugal. Guys, these were the main, also one of the contributing factors to the establishment of Portuguese rule in India, in South Coast initially, because they gave the frequent information about the presence of trade, agricultural prosperity, and the king's bad relation with neighboring state. So this gave as an idea to Portuguese Empire to penetrate into the Indian subcontinent. These we have seen in detail in chapter number 1, that is Eyes of Travelers. The two important travelers who visited during reign of Krishna Dev Raya from 1500s to 1520s were Domenico Pace and Nunes. Domenico Pace has also mentioned about the details of canals and tanks made, huge tanks, like the size of mountain. He says that the people, somewhere about 25,000, working on fields, looked like ants. They were cutting the whole. He is saying that the Krishna Dev Raya has cut it down the whole granite mountain to construct a tank and canals. And he has compared the city greater than Rome. That is, Vijayanagara Empire is far greater than Rome. This has shaped the perspective of foreigners towards India. These are the words of Domenico Pace. Page number 178 mentions about the strategy of Vijayanagara Empire to protect its fields, etc. And also the Krishna Dev Raya's mentioned of pyramidal structures above temples, gates or deities, called as royal gopurams. These were done basically by Krishna Dev Raya on pre-existing temples. The urban core details given are like this, that the urban core has very little evidence about ordinary houses, because it is considered that they were also made up of wood, and wood has perished by weathering agents over time. And due to this, the urban center details are less about ordinary people. The urban core areas were present at northeast direction. This is the urban core. The Chinese porcelain pieces are found, which shows the trade surplus plus prosperity. The architecture at urban cores has mandaps, majorly found at Hampi, plus mosque. Guys, they here mosque were also having the features of Dravidian style, that is like features like temple. Barbosa has also, traveler Barbosa has also mentioned that the people were having houses according to their occupation. Guys, see, the details are exactly not present, but according to these travelers' written accounts, these can be ascertained. The facts like these can be ascertained. The Royal Center. The details about Royal Center are given on page number 179. The Royal Center was located at the south, that is precisely southwestern part of city. Here kings, nobles, etc. lived. Domenico Pace has given another certain details about the Vijayanagar Empire, like the audience hall plus Mahanavami Dibba. Guys, this is the erected structure of a platform, raised platform on a height that is already high from city, so as to address to everyone. Their king stands here, and these were having the carvings slot for wooden pillars so as to erect it as mandap. The Mahanavami Dibba was celebrated used as a celebration dice for Navratri or Mahanavami festival. Domenico Pace called this Mahanavami Dibba as House of Victory. The architectural features of Vijayanagar Empire, rather Imperial capital Vijayanagar, is given on page number 181. On the pillars of Vijayanagar Empire or the carvings from Ramayana, etc., having great details. The king would generally use these temples as the sign of sovereignty or a certain power on occasions. Certain ritual practices are also mentioned, like horse, state horse, bull, etc. sacrifices. The other architectural features like Lotus Mahal is also given, which was a two-storied building used for kings to meet his advisors. The Hazaram temple located at Sacred Center pardon me, the most temples were located at Sacred Center, but this was an exception. Hazaram temple was located at Royal Center, as this was accessible only to king and his family. That is, it was not accessible to common ordinary people. The Hazaram temples carvings show the details about Ramayanas, tales of Ramayanas, etc. The Sacred Center, page number 184, shows the details of the center, which was sacred to kings plus ordinary people. This was centered around the Pampa Devi shrine plus Virupaksha temple. Some traditions say that Pampa Devi did penance here to meet Virupaksha, Lord Virupaksha. Vijayanagara Empire, according to local traditions, also housed the Vali and Sugriv of monkey kingdoms, as mentioned in Ramayana. There are Jain temples also found near Royal Center. Near hills of Virupaksha temple. Here Virupaksha is Shiva. That is, the Vijayanagara Empire followed Shiva. And the king shown his divine theory or man of God theory, because he signed all the agreements in Kannada script but on the name of Virupaksha. That is, the God is saying everything. This is the best way to legitimize the rule without any objection from people. The Vijayanagar empires are also called as Hindu Surtarana. This Surtarana is derived from the Arabic word Sultan. Guys, this is given in box in NCERT. So these things are very important as a terms, which are very important, which can be asked in prelims, etc. Hindu Surtarana is derived from the word Arabic system Sultan Surtarana, and this means that sultans of Hindus. Page number 185 mentions about the gopurams and mandaps. Gopurams and mandaps were the architectural features which were considered as royal gateways, that is pyramidal erected structures. These were gopurams. And mandaps were also considered royal gateways. Mandaps were considered as a celebrative structure where marriages etc. were celebrated. This is like today's mandap, which is erected on 4 pillars, and beneath this the marriage take place. You can see the image on page number 186, image 7.22. The whole sculpture was decorated with engravings of elephants, lions, kings, etc. The horse were most depicted. The Virupaksha temple details are like this on page number 186, that the Virupaksha temple already existed around 10th century CE, but Krishna Dev Raya encouraged the people to believe that the rule of king is by God, and he hence enhanced the Virupaksha temple. Virupaksha is Shiva devotee. The another famous architectural features shown on page number 147 are chariot at Vitthal temple and swinging pavilion at Jinji, from which god deities were swinged to celebrate occasions and offer prayers. These were the huge pillar erected like this. The details about bazaars, temples are very well mentioned by all the travelers who almost traveled the Vijayanagara Empire. The temple of Madurai, the temple of Vitthal, that is Vishnu, is the characteristic feature in which chariot street that extend from temple Gopuram in a straight line. After the Battle of Talikota 1565, the continued tradition of establishment of Gopurams temples was done by the Amarnayakas. In fact, the most intrinsic Gopurams were made by them, like the Gopuram of Madurai, given on page number 188, 7.26 figure. Guys, the details about Vijayanagar are very extensive, but sources are very limited. So we get details on only specific things, but no details like specific things like temples, markets, etc. But no details like, or less details like, ordinary people's daily life, etc. can be deciphered. Some details mentioned by Domenico Pace about markets are like this, that the best city he considered as Vijayanagara Empire. He gave markets details like bazaars were having pet markets separately, grain markets, articles, etc. The pets like rabbits, articles like diamond, gold, etc. Everything was sold. Rabbits, lizard, etc. These things were already sold. And he called the markets very extensively covered areas. Nunis, another traveler, called Vijayanagar Empire as Bisnag. Guys, remember these terms. The Vijayanagar Empire is also called as Bisnag by Nunis. Now, as we have seen that page number 192 also tells us about that the ordinary man information not extensively available. Their occupation, etc. were very less. The Domenico Pace has also mentioned about Krishna Dev Raya in his details that he is having short stature, rather fat than thin, and having marks of smallpox on face. These are the details mentioned by Domenico Pace in Krishna Dev Raya's description. The Queen's Bath architecture is also found at Vijayanagar Empire. The details for which can be not much ascertained. Guys, that's it for today. This was the chapter Vijayanagar Empire and Imperial Capital. This chapter is also the important theme frequently asked in UPSC because the theme led to the glorification of empire in South India, and after Chola, Cheras, Pandyas, this was the empire which is worth considering because of its art, architecture and methodologies. In next video I will in detail discuss the PYQ of prelims plus mains and its answer in short. Till then guys, keep learning, keep grinding. Future is yours. Till then, signing off. Bye bye. Take care.